Making headlines. The President's ratification of the amendment to Immigration Act banning entry of Israeli passports into the Maldives has drawn widespread global praise. First Lady stresses that the beauty of reciting the Holy Quran must be matched with sincere commitment to living according to its teachings. And Minister of Foreign Affairs, alongside the Minister of Economic Development and Trade, holds a high-level engagement with the Turkish business community.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abd Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's ratification of the amendment to the Maldives Immigration Act banning entry of Israeli passports into the Maldives has drawn significant international media attention and widespread praise. The third amendment to the Immigration Act was ratified on Tuesday following its passage by the Parliament at its 20th sitting of the first session of the year. The amendment introduces a new provision to the Immigration Act expressly prohibiting the entry of individuals holding Israeli passports into the territory of the Republic of Maldives. The ratification reflects the government's firm stance in response to the continuing atrocities and ongoing acts of genocide committed by Israel against the Palestinian people. The move has drawn the attention of major media outlets including Al Jazeera, Russia's RT News and other major media outlets. People from across the world have also taken to social media to express their admiration and gratitude to President Muiz, his government and the people of the Maldives, with many hailing the Maldives as an example in advocating for the rights of the Palestinian people. Others described the President's decision as bold and courageous, calling on other nations to adopt similar measures. Locals who expressed their sentiments on social media said they were proud of their government's decision. The President has consistently championed the rights of the Palestinian people in the international arena. He has strongly condemned Israel's inhuman actions and spoken out in favor of the Palestinian people in all international forums he has participated in so far. The Maldives is also participating in ongoing legal cases filed against Israel in international courts. First Lady Madam Sajida Muhammad stresses that the beauty of citing the Holy Quran must be matched with a sincere commitment to living accordingly to its teachings. She made these remarks during her speech at the closing ceremony of the Eagles Community's first Quran competition 1446 held at Tajuddin School. The First Lady encouraged all to seek beauty and excellence in all aspects of life, guided by the principles of the Holy Quran. She noted that embracing such conduct would bring positive changes not only to individual lives but to the nation as a whole. She also acknowledged the growing number of Quran recitation competitions, calling it a hopeful and positive development. She highlighted that Maldivian children with the social development efforts of the Eagles community, commending their initiatives and stressing the importance of individual responsibility in contributing to the welfare of the community. Students of Tajuddin School. A total of 174 students participated in the recitation with text category. At the ceremony, the First Lady presented awards to the students who secured first, second and third places. In a report presented by the Eagles community, they expressed gratitude for the government's support of their social work and shared plans to organize a larger Quran competition in the near future. This will include categories for recitation with text, recitation without text, and one specifically for Hifz. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Halil alongside the Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Mohammed Said, holds a high-level engagement with the Turkish business community in Istanbul.
The meeting, organized by the Foreign Economic Relations Board of Turkey, DEIK, was joined by more than 15 key Turkish businesses led by the chairperson of the Turkey Asia Pacific Business Council, Nail Olpak, who is also a member of the board of DEIK and Ishtash Inshat Anonim Shirket. The session covered a wide range of sectors, including tourism, renewable energy, investment, agriculture, housing, real estate, port development, and technology, with the aim of enhancing bilateral economic cooperation and fostering new business opportunities between the Maldives and Turkey. In his opening remarks, Foreign Minister Khalil highlighted the Maldives' strategic importance and commitment to fostering a thriving business environment. The Economic Development and Trade Minister added that the signing of two key agreements, the Economic Cooperation Agreement in November 2023 and the Preferential Trade Agreement (PTA) in November 2024, is testament to the growing economic and trade partnership between both countries and expressed commitment to further strengthening the relations in the years ahead. Following the remarks by both ministers, CEO of Invest Maldives, Nuha Mohammad Riza, provided a presentation highlighting investment opportunities in the Maldives. Her presentation provided a comprehensive overview of the Maldives' growing potential as a prime destination for tourism and investment. Both Foreign Minister Dr. Khalil and Economic Development and Trade Minister Saeed engaged in informal interactions with the businessmen, discussing potential avenues for collaboration and exploring ways to strengthen economic ties between the two nations. This engagement marks a significant step in advancing the economic partnership between the Maldives and Turkey, particularly in key sectors that are poised for growth in the coming years.
Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Mohammed Amin departs for Doha to participate in the high-level ministerial segment of the 2025 ICAO Facilitation Conference convened by the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. The gathering, set in Qatar's capital, runs from 14th to 17th April, bringing together aviation leaders and policy makers. Its final day will feature the high-level ministerial segment, a forum where top officials assess pressing developments in air transport facilitations. Framing the event as an essential platform for international cooperation, ICAO stated that delegates would examine strategies to ensure the industry remains resilient amid technological shifts and evolving market demands. Under the theme, Facilitating the Future of Air Transport, discussions will center on enhancing cooperation, improving efficiency, and fostering inclusivity in global aviation. As governments and industry leaders navigate rapid changes, ICAO has stated that emphasis will be placed on refining policies that promote seamless cross-border mobility. A focal point of the conference is the ministerial segment, where policymakers will exchange perspectives on aviation's role in economic expansion and international connectivity. The agenda, according to ICAO, includes deliberations on initiatives designed to reinforce accessibility and efficiency within the global air transport network. One of the key outcomes expected from the conference is the Doha Declaration on Facilitation of International Air Transport 2025, a resolution outlining measures aimed at advancing industry development and fortifying the sector's long-term stability. Minister Amin is slated to address the ministerial segment, joining counterparts from ICAO member states in high-level discussions set to shape policies addressing emerging challenges in global aviation. Imam and Khatib of Masjid Al-Nabawi of Medina, Saudi Arabia, Dr. Salah Al-Budair, has been granted official permission by King Salman bin Abdulaziz of Saudi Arabia to pay an official visit to the Maldives. The Ministry of Islamic Affairs invited the Imam and Khatib of Holy Quran of Medina to visit the Maldives upon the recommendation of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz. During his visit, Dr. Salah Al-Budair will deliver a Friday sermon at the Islamic Center in Male. He is also scheduled to pay a courtesy call on President Dr. Muiz, deliver a religious lecture to the public and meet with local scholars. The Islamic Ministry said he will also visit the King Salman Mosque and Islamic institutions. This is the first time in 40 years that an Imam of the Holy Mosque is visiting the Maldives. The first time an Imam of the Holy Mosque visited the Maldives was for the opening ceremony of the Islamic Center. At the time, the then Imam of the Holy Mosque of Mecca, Muhammad al-Shabayil, visited the Maldives. Dr. Salah al-Budair, the Imam of the Holy Mosque of Medina, is known for his elaborate recitation of the Holy Quran. The Maldives Hajj Corporation is in talks with Saudi Arabia's Abir Medical Group to explore the provision of healthcare services directly at the hotels of Maldivian pilgrims in Makkah through the Saudi National Hospital SNH.
Officials from Hajj Corporation and Abir Medical Group are evaluating ways to ensure pilgrims receive timely medical attention. One proposal under discussion, according to Hajj Corporation, would enable SNH to offer healthcare services directly within the hotels where Maldivian pilgrims are staying, an approach designed to improve accessibility and convenience. The Hajj Corporation has continued to prioritize the well-being of Maldivian pilgrims, with previous efforts focused on strengthening medical support during this sacred journey. Last year, a team consisting of 4 doctors and 5 nurses were deployed to oversee the healthcare needs of Maldivian pilgrims in Makkah and Medina. A specialized clinic and pharmacy were also set up within the hotel in Makkah, offering consultations and medication to pilgrims seeking treatment. But now discussions are ongoing with SNH to provide this service more efficiently. The Makkah-based facility under consideration is operated by Abir Medical Group, a prominent healthcare provider with an extensive network of hospitals, medical centers, pharmacies and optical outlets across Saudi Arabia, as well as Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Oman, Kuwait and India.
Bank of Maldives Islamic has approved a loan of $22.7 million to support the government's Waqf development project. Islamic Affairs Minister Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed announced the funding during a press briefing on Tuesday, highlighting major steps to strengthen the Islamic Waqf Fund, a key pledge in President Dr. Muiz's manifesto. Dr. Shahim said the aim is to create sustainable financial support for Islamic services nationwide. He revealed that buildings like Darul Iman, Darul Salam and Darul Arqam have been designated as Waqf assets, with all profits channeled toward mosque and religious development. A cash Waqf of nearly $1 million has also been established, along with a partnership between the Ministry and Maldives Zakat House to jointly develop key Waqf buildings. The Minister confirmed that implementation of these projects will begin soon, ensuring all initiatives align with Islamic principles and long-term national goals. $20.7 million in export revenue in March, registering a 9% increase from the same period last year, Maldives Customs Service figures have shown.
According to the customs figures, the country recorded an exact amount in imports in March of 2025 and the year before with $285.3 million. The highest imports come from United Arab Emirates, India, China, Singapore and Sri Lanka, with food, fuel, machinery and electronics leading the items category. Let's take a look at the major importing countries and the worth and value of what was imported from those countries. UAE imports stood at $86.7 million, India $46.2 million, China exports were valued at $13.2 million, which is a 60% of exports in March were to Thailand, Britain, Vietnam, Bangladesh and Germany. Looking at the details of this, exports of worth $7.7 million were made to Thailand, $2.7 million to Britain, 518,806 to Vietnam, 453,955 to Bangladesh, 324,254 to Germany. The major exported commodity in March was fish products led by frozen and canned skipjack tuna with a combined value of $10.4 million.
Turbulence stirred by President Donald Trump's tariffs could disrupt global shrimp shipments to the United States, with exporters in top supplier India warning that up to 2,000 containers of frozen shrimp are at risk.
Ecuador, however located thousands of kilometers closer to the U.S., faces a lower tariff rate and may benefit from the shift, exporters say. Shrimp is the most valuable export after oil. India's shrimp sector is bracing for a 26% tariff under Trump's July plan, jeopardizing a $7 billion seafood export industry that relies heavily on major U.S. buyers like Walmart and Kroger. As uncertainty looms, exporters have slashed offer prices by 10%, and farmers are already seeing demand evaporate. Many shrimp farmers are also burdened by high costs for feed and steep land rentals for saline ponds used in cultivation. The United States and China remain key destinations for Indian seafood exports, which hit a record $7.3 billion last year on a volume of 1.8 million metric tons. Shrimp was the dominant product, with the state of Andhra Pradesh leading the charge. Its 300,000 farmers contributed to the bulk of supplies and accounted for 92% of India's $2.5 billion in seafood exports to the U.S., its largest market. At one processing facility visited by Reuters, shrimp were washed and machine sorted by size, followed by a manual quality check by workers in masks and gloves. Finally, a conveyor belt carried the seafood off to be flash frozen for export. Thousands of tons of frozen shrimp leave Andhra Pradesh each year on a voyage that usually takes 40 days to arrive at ports in New York, Houston, and Miami, en route to restaurants and the shelves of retailers such as Safeway and Costco.
Palestinians inspect the damage following an Israeli strike on a tent site housing displaced people in Al-Mawasi area in Khan Yunis that left a number of casualties, including children, according to Gaza's health ministry and eyewitnesses.
The tents sheltering the displaced were left in ruins as burnt belongings were scattered on the ground. Palestinian and Egyptian sources said that the latest round of talks on April 14 in Cairo to restore a Gaza ceasefire and free Israeli hostages ended with no apparent breakthrough. Hamas insists Israel commit to ending the war and pull out its forces from the Gaza Strip as agreed in the three-phase ceasefire accord that went into effect in late January. Israel has said it will not end the war unless Hamas is eliminated and returns the remaining hostages held in Gaza. Gaza health authorities have said that the Israeli military has killed more than 1,500 Palestinians since restarting its military offensive. It has displaced hundreds of thousands of people and imposed a blockade on all supplies entering the enclave. Meanwhile, 59 Israeli hostages remain in the hands of the militants. Israel believes 24 of them are alive.
Ryan Reynolds' Wrexham may have the Hollywood spotlight, but Welsh rivals Swansea City are stealing some star power of their own, with Real Madrid maestro Luka Modric poised to make his first move into club ownership with a minority stake.
According to Welsh media reports, the 39-year-old Croatian midfielder, whose contract at the Spanish Giants runs until mid-2025, will join American investors Andy Coleman, Brett Kravitz, Nigel Morris, and Jason Cohen in the ownership structure. Mordic's investment comes as championship side Swansea navigate challenging financial waters. They posted a pre-tax loss of £15.2 million or $20.04 million in the latest financial year, a modest improvement from their £17.9 million loss the previous year. Mordic's arrival will sprinkle stardust on a Swansea side dreaming of a return to the Premier League and the treasure chest that comes with it, though that dream will have to wait. The Swans are marooned in mid-table, 12th in the 2014 championship with 54 points to their name, a distant 34 behind pace-setters Leeds United and Burnley, who are locked at the top on 88 with just 4 games to play.
Spotting oil spills as soon as possible is a priority for the offshore oil and gas industry, and now they have a helping hand: artificial intelligence.
AI is being used to assess the sea state around offshore installations and then decide if the surface of the water has been contaminated.
So our contribution into the overall picture of avoiding oil spills and the negative impacts of that is to detect the oil spill immediately when something would happen. So we do automatic 24/7 detection that would give the operators an alert that there is a probable oil spill taking place, and they would need to look into it and take their required action to cope with it. So we really are in the early phase and trying to mitigate the potentials of any spills by that.
The system uses traditional maritime radars to create an image of the sea's surface, which is analyzed by AI to assess wave measurements. When oil hits the surface, the ripples normally caused by wind are calmed and the area becomes flat. Miros can detect that flat area and use analytics on top to assess the damage and extent of a spill.
So actually what we do, we use a traditional navigation radar that you will find on any ship, those that turns around on top of the vessel, right? And that creates an image of the sea surface around your installation. And when you put oil on the water, we know that that will calm the sea surface. You will take away those small ripples that is caused by the wind. So you will then have an area that is quite flat, and that we can detect looking at the radar image with some nice advanced analytics on top of it.
The company's technology can also predict future sea states by analyzing the height and motion of the swell around ships and oil rigs, allowing it to predict the height and arrival time minutes before waves hit.
Yeah, I would say the very latest technology we are using is our latest release called the Predictify, and obviously using AI to enhance the basic wave measurements that you could detect. But looking ahead, what will happen in the coming few minutes, not only looking at statistics as wave measurements normally are, but actually telling you that in like 2 minutes there's going to come in a wave of 4 meters high, and that's going to give you 3 meters heave or motion on your vessel. That's really breaking new technologies and made available with the AI and the computing you have available these days.
Miros says that the accuracy of the initial information and data sourced by AI is key to meaningful results, as well as generally improving the efficiency and safety of offshore operations.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.